Good day and welcome back to the Ask Pastor Law podcast. We have a question, and the question today is, how can I be a positive role model for my child's internet use and digital habits? Wow, where do we start? Being a positive role model for our children's internet and digital habits. Oh, wow. It involves, as far as I know, it involves setting a good example and creating a safe and healthy online environment for them. That will really be a summary of the things that we do. But I'm going to break it down so that we understand it a little bit more. Okay? The first thing that we have to do is we need to be aware of our own digital habits. We have to lead by example. We have to lead from the front, okay? There's no point asking them to do things that we are not doing or even ready to do. It won't work, okay? The second point is that we have to establish rules and boundaries, okay? In one of the videos that we've created, and feel free to click on the link in the description to indulge yourself. But we created a video about, actually creating a contract in the home, about, internet use, etc., etc. And there is a lot of value in doing that. So it's important to establish rules and boundaries. Set clear rules. Let them be clear. And boundaries for internet and digital use in the home, okay? Discuss and establish those guidelines quickly. Don't wait until the kid has gotten so involved on the internet before you start setting rules. It becomes a bit, noisy, becomes difficult because the child is kind of set in their ways. So do this early. Establish guidelines for things like screen time, social media use, appropriate online behavior. These things are really important if we set them very early on, okay? A third point will be that we have to communicate regularly with our kids. This is a big deal for us here on this platform. We talk about communication, okay? Regular communication. It's crucial. Crucial in helping our child develop healthy digital habits. We have to discuss the benefits, of communication. Invite communication back. Encourage open dialogue, about online experiences they may have. Have an open door policy. These are the things that will make, your young one's engagement on the internet worthwhile. And so you've got to do it, okay? A fourth point will be that you need to monitor your child's internet use. I know that we kind of push it aside because it's technical. It involves tech. It probably involves you having to pay for an app. Regardless of the expense, and I sympathize with parents who can't afford it, but make every attempt to monitor what they do on the internet-enabled device that they have. We've got to monitor it. We've got to keep an eye on our child's internet and digital device. We've got to make sure that they are staying safe. The only way you get to do that is if you know. If you don't know, then really you have nothing to complain about. Okay, so we must monitor their social media activity. We must be aware of the apps and games that they're using, how it works. And the only way you do that is by monitoring or indeed engaging. Okay? We can play games with them. And then perhaps whilst playing the game, there'll be a chat going on. You can filter or at least listen in on the language, the content, the maturity. Things like that can only make this engagement better, okay? So we need to monitor our children's internet use. Monitor. Like I said, you have parental control applications that can help you do this. If you're not around the child, you can do it and monitor it that way. And as long as that communication, because they all work together, if you're communicating regularly with your child already knows that you mean well. Okay? You're not just, being a nosy Parker. You mean well. It comes from a place of love. Okay? We are responsible for these children. And so we've got to make sure that they're staying safe and they're being responsible also on the internet. So use parental controls, where possible, to monitor their social media activity and be aware of the apps and games that they're using. Okay? A last point would be that we have to encourage offline activities. Encourage our children to engage in offline activities. We joke about this. Certainly in my time, and believe me, we didn't have internet. We didn't have phones. If you needed to make a call, you had to be in the house because it was landline and things like that. But we didn't have the internet to engage ourselves. And so we created our own fun, which meant that we were creative. Offline activities like sports, reading, and spending time with friends and family, these were huge for us, But we know that these things really have taken a back seat because of how, the online activities have taken over. And so we've got to encourage some offline activities, help them find a healthy balance between their online and offline lives. These are crucial things that if we get this right, if we get this balance right, it will be really, really peaceful at home and in the future, okay? So by following these few tips, we can be positive role models for our children's internet use and digital habits. I've been your host, Lawrence Edem. Until next week, God bless and goodbye.